Hold up, Android users, remember that big Play Store makeover Google was planning? Well, it's been put on ice for now. A federal judge just slammed the brakes on the whole thing. This isn't just some random delay, it's all thanks to a legal battle that's been raging between Google and Epic Games, the makers of Fortnite. And trust me, this fight is about way more than just apps. It's about power, control, and the future of how we use our phones. This whole thing started because Epic Games decided to challenge Google's dominance in the app world. They claimed Google was acting like a monopoly with its Play Store, using its power to stifle competition and squeeze money out of developers. Google, of course, denied these allegations. They argued that their Play Store is a safe and secure platform for everyone. This legal battle has been going on for a while now, and it's been pretty intense. Both sides have brought out their big guns, with lawyers and experts arguing back and forth. It's been like watching a heavyweight boxing match, but instead of punches, they're throwing legal arguments. And right now it looks like the fight is far from over. So, how did we get here? It all started with Epic Games, the company behind Fortnite. Google takes a cut of every purchase made through the Play Store. Epic Games thought this cut was too high and decided to act. They bypassed Google's payment system, offering players a discount. Google saw this as a violation and removed Fortnite from the Play Store. And that's when things got interesting. Epic Games sued Google, accusing them of being a monopoly. It was a David versus Goliath battle, challenging Google's App Store empire. The Epic Games versus Google showdown wasn't just some legal drama happening behind closed doors. This was a full-blown trial, with a jury of everyday people deciding Google's fate. And after weeks of listening to arguments and examining evidence, the jury reached a verdict. They found Google liable for anti-competitive behavior. The jury agreed with Epic Games that Google was using its dominance in the app market to stifle competition and harm consumers. It was a major blow to Google, and it sent a clear message that even tech giants aren't above the law. This verdict was a huge win for Epic Games and other developers who felt bullied by Google's power. It was also a victory for consumers who stand to benefit from increased competition and more choices in the app market. But the fight wasn't over yet. Google wasn't about to take this lying down. They immediately appealed the jury's verdict. They argued that the jury got it wrong and that their practices were fair and beneficial to consumers. Google's main argument? Security. They claimed that allowing apps from outside the Play Store would compromise the safety and security of Android devices. They painted a picture of a world where Android phones are overrun with malware, scams, and viruses, all because users are allowed to download apps from anywhere they want. Google claimed that their strict control over the Play Store was essential for keeping Android users safe. They argued that forcing them to change their ways would put millions of users at risk. It was a compelling argument. After all, no one wants their phone to be infected with malware or have their personal data stolen. But was Google just using security as a smokescreen to protect their profits? That's what Epic Games and others were claiming. They argued that Google was exaggerating the risks and that there are ways to ensure app safety without resorting to monopolistic practices. Section 5, Judge Donato hits the pause button. The legal battle between Epic Games and Google was like a tennis match, and in the middle of it all was Judge James Donato. But then he threw a curveball. He decided to temporarily pause his own order, forcing Google to change the Play Store. This pause was like hitting the slow motion button on the whole legal battle. Judge Donato wanted to give the appeals court a chance to weigh in. This pause didn't mean Google was off the hook, it just meant the fight was going into extra rounds. Section 6. Google and Epic react, a war of words. As you can imagine, both Google and Epic Games had a lot to say about Judge Donato's decision to pause the Play Store overhaul, and they didn't hold back. Google was quick to praise the judge's decision, calling it a victory for common sense. They reiterated their commitment to providing a safe and secure platform for Android users. Epic Games, on the other hand, expressed disappointment. They argued that the pause would only delay much-needed changes to the Play Store. They vowed to continue fighting for a more open and competitive app market. It was clear that both sides were digging in their heels, ready for a long legal battle. This war of words was just a taste of what was to come. Both companies were prepared to spend millions, if not billions of dollars to win this case. They knew that the stakes were incredibly high. The outcome of this legal battle could reshape the entire tech landscape. Section 7. What's next for consumers and developers? So, what does all this legal wrangling mean for everyday folks like you and me? Well, it's still too early to say for sure. But one thing's for certain. The way we download and use apps on our phones could be in for a major shakeup. If Epic Games ultimately prevails, we might see more competition in the app market, which could lead to lower prices and more innovative apps. Developers, especially smaller ones, are watching this case very closely. They're hoping that a victory for Epic Games will level the playing field and give them a fighting chance against the tech giants. But if Google manages to overturn the jury's verdict, it could solidify their dominance in the app market, giving them even more power over developers and consumers. The outcome of this case could also have ripple effects beyond the tech world. It could set a precedent for how antitrust laws are applied to big tech companies in other industries. So, yeah, this whole Play Store overhaul pause is a pretty big deal. Section 8. The Apple Factor. Google cries foul. Now, Google isn't the only tech giant facing scrutiny over its App Store practices. Apple, with its iron grip on the iOS App Store, has also been accused of being a monopoly, and Google has been quick to point that out. They've argued that it's unfair for them to be singled out when Apple engages in similar practices. Google has even gone so far as to say that Apple's App Store is even more restrictive than theirs. They've highlighted the fact that Apple doesn't allow any third-party app stores on iOS, while Android users have more freedom to download apps from different sources. It's a classic case of whataboutism, where someone tries to deflect criticism by pointing the finger at someone else. But is Google's argument valid? There's no doubt that both Apple and Google wield enormous power in the app market. And while their practices might differ slightly, they both face accusations of stifling competition and harming consumers. The legal battle between Epic Games and Google could have major implications for Apple as well. Section 9. A legal showdown with global implications. This whole Play Store saga isn't just a US-centric issue. It's a global showdown with implications for the entire tech industry. Regulators and lawmakers around the world are watching this case closely. They're looking for any signs that big tech companies are abusing their power and harming competition. The European Union in particular has been cracking down on anti-competitive behavior by tech giants. They've already slapped Google with billions of dollars in fines for antitrust violations, and they're currently considering new regulations that could further limit the power of big tech companies. The outcome of the Epic Games versus Google case could embolden regulators in other countries to take similar action. We could see a wave of new laws and regulations aimed at curbing the power of big tech and promoting competition in the digital marketplace. This case could be a watershed moment for the tech industry, ushering in a new era of greater scrutiny and accountability. Section 10. The future of app stores hangs in the balance. The battle over the Play Store overhaul is about more than just money. It's about the future of how we access and use apps. It's about the balance of power between tech giants and developers. And it's about ensuring a fair and competitive marketplace for everyone. Will app stores become more open and democratic, giving developers more control over their products and consumers more choices? Or will big tech companies like Google and Apple tighten their grip, further solidifying their dominance and shaping the digital landscape in their image? These are the questions at the heart of this legal battle. One thing's for sure, the outcome of this case will have a profound impact on the future of the tech industry. It's a battle that could redefine the relationship between tech giants, developers, and consumers for years to come. Buckle up, folks, because this is going to be a wild ride. Section 11. The final word: innovation versus monopoly. So there you have it. The Play Store overhaul is on hold, caught in the crosshairs of a legal battle between Epic Games and Google. It's a battle that highlights the tension between innovation and monopoly, between the desire for a free and open market and the need to protect consumers and ensure a level playing field. This case is a reminder that even in the fast-paced world of tech, where change is the only constant, there are still fundamental questions about fairness, competition, and the role of government in regulating powerful corporations. And the answers to these questions will shape the future of the digital world we live in.